Hi, I'm John, author of the Smoky Mountain Cabin Owner's Manual. Today we're going to talk about where cabins came from in the United States. This is not my own research. I borrowed it from other people and actually found most of my information from the National Park Service. You can look it up at nps.gov. The information seems to be fairly reasonable and is taken from some different works, and they're cited there, so I'll let you look that up and find it out for yourself. But more or less what happened was Northern Europeans moved to the New World. They were used to living in an area that was heavily forested, and so they had made structures out of cabins out of logs before. They'd made structures out of logs before. So when they moved to the New World, it was a lot of forests that were virgin, and they were able to take those forests and log them and make structures for their own. Now, cabins for the settlers were not what we would think of whenever we talk about going on vacation to a cabin. For them, it was more or less what they called pens, like a dog pen or a pig pen. More or less, it was a square box that they put a roof on, and the only thing that they had inside for any kind of creature comfort was a fire. They used that for cooking and for warmth. It was more or less just to survive on until they could, build better accommodations. Building, as things changed and building materials improved, obviously industry came along, and the log cabins were more or less forgotten in time. However, they found out that people really enjoyed vacationing at cabins, and so there was a man named William A. Durant, and he was a businessman, and he decided he was going to build a retreat, is the best way to put it. And so in the Adirondack Mountains, he built a retreat and used logs as the major structure. The point was that the wealthy people in the city could leave and come out on to this retreat, and they would feel tied to the old world. And that is really what cabins are. Cabins bring an old world charm. And so what we see today is a very similar situation. I write in the book that what people are looking for is a modern experience in a perceived rustic setting. And that really is what it comes down to. People want to stay in cabins because they want to relax and they want to think of a simpler time in time past. But they also want to be able to, stick a pizza in the oven and warm it up. So whenever you think of cabins and you're thinking of visiting the Smoky Mountains, or if you're thinking about living in the Smoky Mountains, or if you're thinking about buying a cabin to rent in the Smoky Mountains, just remember that that's what people are looking for in cabins, is a modern experience in a perceived rustic setting. Just like Mr. Durant did all those years ago, he created an entire cabin industry basically out of taking people out of the city and letting them get back into the country. So we always need to remember that whenever we're looking at cabins in the cabin industry. People want to relax. That's really the whole point of the cabin industry. If you get a chance, take a second and look it up on nps.gov. They have a write-up about it. There's a couple books on there that they cite. Feel free to look it up, and then look up our book, The Smoky Mountain Cabin Owner's Manual, and hopefully you will learn something. And if you're interested in buying, selling, or renting cabins here in the Smokies, we can help you with that. CabinOwnersManual.com. This is John, author of the Smoky Mountain Cabin Owner's Manual. Have a good day.